Your sensitivity was never the
Your
real problem.
sensitivity
After being hurt
was
repeatedly,
never the problem.
many people begin blaming themselves for feeling too much, too emotional, too caring, too sensitive, too affected by people. But sensitivity itself was never the real problem. In many cases, your sensitivity is the reason you notice things others ignore. You notice emotional inconsistency quickly. You sense shifts in energy. You pick up on tension, distance, dishonesty, or emotional coldness before anyone says a word. And while that awareness can become exhausting when mixed with fear, it's not weakness, it's perception. The problem begins when painful experiences teach your mind that emotional awareness must always be used for defense instead of connection. So instead of sensitivity becoming intuition, empathy, and emotional depth, it becomes hypervigilance, constant scanning, constant preparation, constant emotional caution. But there's an important difference between being emotionally aware and
distrust is often intelligence mixed with pain. People who trust no one are often more psychologically aware than others realize. They notice patterns quickly, contradictions quickly, behavioral changes quickly. They pay attention to details most people overlook, and sometimes they're right. Sometimes their caution genuinely protects them from manipulation, dishonesty, or emotional harm. That's why healing cannot simply mean trust everyone. Blind trust is not wisdom. But pain has a way of distorting perception when the nervous system stays stuck in survival mode. Because once the brain becomes conditioned to expect betrayal, it may start seeing danger everywhere, even when it doesn't exist. A delayed reply becomes rejection. Distance becomes abandonment. Silence becomes proof that something is wrong. Not because the person is irrational, because pain trained their brain to anticipate loss before it happens. And that's the difficult balance emotionally guarded people must eventually learn. Your instincts may be intelligent, but fear should not become the only lens through which you see people. Because when pain controls perception completely, even safe relationships can start feeling unsafe.
Healing doesn't mean trusting everyone openly. They don't. Real healing is not becoming naive. It's learning discernment without constant fear. It's understanding that boundaries are healthy. Caution is healthy. Emotional awareness is healthy. What becomes unhealthy is living in permanent emotional defense mode. Healing means learning that not every person is your past. Not every relationship ends in betrayal. Not every moment of vulnerability leads to humiliation. And most importantly, healing means realizing you don't have to abandon yourself in order to connect with others. You can protect your peace and remain emotionally open. You can be careful without becoming emotionally closed. You can learn to trust slowly instead of never trusting at all. Because trust is not supposed to happen instantly. Healthy trust is built gradually through consistency, honesty, emotional safety, repeated evidence. And for someone who has spent years emotionally guarded, that process may feel uncomfortable at first. But discomfort is not always danger. Sometimes it's simply the feeling of slowly lowering armor you no longer need to carry every second of your life.